If you want to draw pleasing artworks, manga, comic scenes, or anything else, you should learn composition. It is the technique that makes a scene visually pleasing. If you master the art of composition, your drawings will stand out from the rest. This can be a broad topic, so for this video, we'll look at how to draw a fight scene or two characters facing each other about to fight. Throughout the video, we'll learn more and more techniques to make the final composition as pleasing to the eye as possible. The rule of thirds. Let's start with a basic layout for this kind of scene. The rule of thirds is one of the most fundamental parts of composition. We will divide the scene horizontally and vertically in 3 parts. What matters to us is the 4 intersections created by this sort of grid, or the 2 vertical lines in most cases. On these intersections we will place our most important elements. Let's say we have 2 characters as they face each other. They are staring or talking to each other, maybe they're about to fight. We are going to place each of the characters on one side of the scene aligned with the 2 vertical lines we drew. Perspective and positioning. In order to be more precise with our characters and not have a weird position or size, let's keep in mind some rough perspective rules. We don't need to go into too many details. Just by placing a horizon line, it will help us depict the environment or ground field where our characters are going to be. We will also use this horizon line to properly align the characters on the scene. For example, after drawing this horizon line, then one of the characters on the scene, we notice that this character's hips is aligned to the horizon line. Now, this is our reference point. This means that the other character, or characters if you decide to have more, are going to follow the same rule. This is an easy way to have a realistic setting and coherence throughout all the characters. Otherwise, your characters will look like they're sitting up on a rock or deep in a hole. You can ignore this rule for obvious reasons, like one of the previous ones that I gave, or if the character is jumping. And of course, it doesn't have to be the hips, it can be the head, the knees, or anything else. And you can plan this ahead. Before even drawing in your first character, you can decide on which element is going to be the reference point. But remember that choosing different elements will change the camera position for the scene. Character positioning. Usually, the protagonist or the hero is placed on the left, looking to the right, and the antagonist is usually on the right side. This is a typical way to pose the characters. I believe it is because of the reading direction, since we read from left to right. It is also linked psychologically to progress, for the same reason as the reading direction. This rule can be broken though. You can place the villain on the left too, exceptionally. What you cannot break is the 180 rule, which means you shouldn't swap their position in different scenes if you're making a comic or manga, since that will confuse the viewer. We can decide if we want to see our characters' expressions or not, by placing the characters closer or farther from the camera. If you want to show the character standing on a cool cliff or specific environment, in that case maybe you want your characters to be seen from afar. If not, it's better to place one character much closer to the camera and create a more pleasing and interesting scene. It would be boring to place the character at the same size. So let's make one of the characters be much close to the camera than the other. This will make the scene much more exciting and with depth, since there's no symmetry between both characters. Filling in the scene. If you're doing a scene where the character in front is much bigger, there's nothing to add to him. But the opposite character might be standing too lonely there. Unless you give him or her a big sword, some special effects, or having a pet or something, it will look boring. One of the things you can add is, depending on the setting of course, a rock, a tree, cave entrance, architecture, or anything else, to fill in the empty spaces, like a pipe in this example. But you need to be careful though, as adding too many elements or adding them in wrong places can disrupt the pleasing feel of a nice composition. Experimenting before continuing. Before deciding to take this to the next level, take a look at your composition sketch and think what can you improve on it. Or you can retry on a different setting. Just keep experimenting and compare different ideas before settling with one. You can try making the opposite character take the bigger role and switch up the composition. Or you can try different things, like one character standing on top of the hill and the other one down. But we've done just that. Up to this point, we've been creating different scenes. After moving all the versions we've created to the side, let's create a final one similar to the second option. Our main character is going to stand on the left with his sword out, looking to the right. And our villain here is going to be on the opposite side, taunting him with his sword out. Paying attention to our rules, we can take our art until the point we desire. For this case, I'll just add some anatomy on the top part of the body. And if the scene looks too empty, we can add 2 mountains to the side to balance the shot and create more interest. These are just some rules that will get you started on a good foot about composition. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got value out of it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe for more. Alright, I'll catch you in the next session.